Before going back to the questions, please don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to the questions. Question 1. A company employs a team of customer service agents to provide telephone and email support to customers. The company develops a web chat bot to provide automated answers to common customer queries. Which business benefit should they expect as a result of creating the web chat bot solution? Our options are A. Increased sales, B. A reduced workload for the customer service agents, C. Improved product reliability. The correct option is B. A reduced workload for the customer service agents. Question 2. For a machine learning progress, how should you split data for training and evaluation? Our options are A. Use features for training and labels for evaluation, B. Randomly split the data into rows for training and rows for evaluation, C. Use labels for training and features for evaluation, D. Randomly split the data into columns for training and columns for evaluation. The correct answer is B. Randomly split the data into rows for training and rows for evaluation. Use split rows, not columns. The split data module is particularly useful when you need to separate data into training and testing sets. Use the split rows option if you want to divide the data into two parts. You can specify the percentage of data to put in each split. But by default, the data is divided 50-50. You can also randomize the selection of rows in each group and use stratified sampling. Question 3. You build a machine learning model by using the automated machine learning user interface. You need to ensure that the model meets the Microsoft transparency principle for responsible AI. What should you do? Our options are A. Set validation type to auto, B. Enable explain best model, C. Set primary metric to accuracy, D. Set max concurrent iterations to 0. The correct answer is B. Enable explain best model. Model explainability. Most businesses run on trust, and being able to open the ML black box helps build transparency and trust. In heavily regulated industries like healthcare and banking, it is critical to comply with regulations and best practices. One key aspect of this is understanding the relationship between input variables and model output. Knowing both the magnitude and direction of the impact each feature has on the predicted value helps better understand and explain the model. With model explainability, we enable you to understand feature importance as part of automated ML runs. Question 4. Hotspot. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Answer area to the statements. Forecasting housing prices based on historical data is an example of anomaly detection. The correct answer is no. To the next one. Identifying suspicious sign-ins by looking for deviations from usual patterns is an example of anomaly detection. The correct answer is yes. To the next one. Predicting whether a patient will develop diabetes based on the patient's medical history is an example of anomaly detection. The correct answer is no. Statement A refers to regression, Statement B refers to anomaly, and Statement C refers to classification. Anomaly detection encompasses many important tasks in machine learning: identifying transactions that are potentially fraudulent, learning patterns that indicate that a network intrusion has occurred, finding abnormal clusters of patients, checking values entered into a system. Question 5. Hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. The handling of unusual or missing values provided to an AI system is a consideration for the Microsoft Dash principle for responsible AI. Our options are inclusiveness, privacy and security, reliability and safety, transparency. The correct option is reliability and safety. Reliability and safety. AI systems need to be reliable and safe in order to be trusted. It is important for a system to perform as it was originally designed and for it to respond safely to new situations. Its inherent resilience should resist intended or unintended manipulation. Rigorous testing and validation should be established for operating conditions to ensure that the system responds safely to edge cases, and A/B testing and champion/challenger methods should be integrated into the evaluation process. An AI system performance can degrade over time, so a robust monitoring and model tracking process needs to be established to reactively and proactively measure the model's performance and retrain it as necessary to modernize it. Question 6. You are designing an AI system that empowers everyone, including people who have hearing and visual and other impairments. This is an example of which Microsoft guiding principle for responsible AI. Our options are A. Fairness, B. Inclusiveness, C. Reliability and safety, D. Accountability. The correct option is B. Inclusiveness. At Microsoft, we firmly believe everyone should benefit from intelligent technology, meaning it must incorporate and address a broad range of human needs and experiences. For the 1 billion people with disabilities around the world, AI technologies can be a game changer. Question 7. You are building an AI system. Which task should you include to ensure that the service meets the Microsoft transparency principle for responsible AI? Our options are A. Ensure that all visuals have an associated text that can be read by a screen reader. B. Enable auto-scaling to ensure that the service scales based on demand. C. Provide documentation to help developers debug code. D. Ensure that a training dataset is representative of the population. The correct answer is C. Provide documentation to help developers debug code. Question 8. Your company is exploring the use of voice recognition technologies in its smart home devices. The company wants to identify any barriers that might unintentionally leave out specific user groups. This is an example of which Microsoft guiding principle for responsible AI. Our options are A. Accountability, B. Fairness, C. Inclusiveness, D. Privacy and security. The correct answer is C. Inclusiveness. Inclusiveness. This means that no one is left out. Question 9. What are 3 Microsoft guiding principles for responsible AI? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Our options are A. Knowledgeability, B. Decisiveness, C. Inclusiveness, D. Fairness, E. Opinionatedness, and F. Reliability and safety. The correct options are C, D, and F. That is inclusiveness, fairness, and reliability and safety. The 6 guiding principles are fairness, inclusiveness, transparency, privacy and security, reliability and safety, and accountability. Question 10. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. Returning a bounding box that indicates the location of a vehicle in an image is an example of. Our options are image classification, object detection, optical character recognizer, semantic segmentation. The correct answer is object detection. Object detection is the correct answer. Semantic segmentation can seem tempting at first, but that is more about classifying individual pixels based on their objects. Question 11. Hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. dash is used to generate additional features. Our options are feature engineering, feature selection, model evaluation, model training. The correct option is feature engineering. Explanation. Feature engineering is applied first to generate additional features, and then feature selection is done to eliminate irrelevant, redundant, or highly correlated features. Question 12. You run a charity event that involves posting photos of people wearing sunglasses on Twitter. You need to ensure that you only retweet photos that meet the following requirements: include one or more faces, contain at least one person wearing sunglasses. What should you use to analyze the images? Our options are A. The verify operation in the face service, B. The detect operation in the face service, C. The describe image operation in the computer vision service, D. The analyze image operation in the computer vision service. The correct option is B. The detect operation in the face service. Face detect can be requested to also detect glasses attribute. Question 13. When you design an AI system to assess whether loans should be approved, the factors used to make the decision should be explainable. This is an example of which Microsoft guiding principle for responsible AI. Our options are A. Transparency, B. Inclusiveness, C. Fairness, D. Privacy and security. The correct answer is A. Transparency. Achieving transparency helps the team to understand the data and algorithms used to train the model. What transformation log was applied to the data, the final model generated, and its associated assets. This information offers insights about how the model was created, which allows it to be reproduced in a transparent way. Question 14. Drag drop. Match the principles of responsible AI to appropriate requirements. To answer, drag the appropriate principles from the column on the left to its requirement on the right. Each principle may be used once, more than once, or not at all. You may need to drag the split bar between panes or scroll to view content. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Select and place. The principles given to us are fairness, privacy and security, reliability and safety, and transparency. To the answer area, the first statement is the system must not discriminate based on gender, race. The correct option here is fairness. To the next statement, personal data must be visible only to approve. The correct option here is privacy and security. To the last statement, automated decision making processes must be recorded so that approved users can identify why a decision was made. The correct option is transparency. Question 15. Drag drop. You plan to deploy an Azure machine learning model as a service that will be used by client applications. Which three processes should you perform in sequence before you deploy the model? To answer, move the appropriate processes from the list of processes to the answer area and arrange them in the correct order. Select and place. The processes provided to us are data encryption, model retraining, model training, data preparation, model evaluation. The correct sequence here would be data preparation, model training, model evaluation. Question 16. You are building an AI-based app. You need to ensure that the app uses the principles for responsible AI. Which two principles should you follow? Each correct answer presents part of the solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Our options are A. Implement an agile software development methodology. B. Implement a process of AI model validation as part of the software review process. C. Establish a risk governance committee that includes members of the legal team, members of the risk management team, and a privacy officer. D. Prevent the disclosure of the use of AI-based algorithms for automated decision making. The correct answer is B and C. That is, Implement a process of AI model validation as part of the software review process, and establish a risk governance committee that includes members of the legal team, members of the risk management team, and a privacy officer. B ensures reliability and safety principle, and C ensures privacy and security principle of AI. Question 17. Hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. According to Microsoft's Dash principle of responsible AI, AI systems should not reflect biases from the datasets that are used to train the systems. Our options are accountability, fairness, inclusiveness, transparency. The correct option is fairness. Question 18. Hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. Data values that influence the prediction of a model are called. Our options are dependent variables, features, identifiers, labels. The correct option is features. Question 19. Which type of machine learning should you use to predict the number of gift cards that will be sold next month? Our options are A. Classification, B. Regression, C. Clustering. The correct answer is B. Regression. In the most basic sense, regression refers to the prediction of a numeric target. Linear regression attempts to establish a linear relationship between one or more independent variables and a numeric outcome or dependent variable. You use this module to define a linear regression method and then train a model using a labeled dataset. The trained model can then be used to make predictions. Question 20. You have a dataset that contains information about taxi journeys that occurred during a given period. You need to train a model to predict the fare of a taxi journey. What should you use as a feature? Our options are A. The number of taxi journeys in the dataset, B. The trip distance of individual taxi journeys, C. The fare of individual taxi journeys, D. The trip ID of individual taxi journeys. The correct answer is B. The trip distance of individual taxi journeys. The label is the column you want to predict. The identified features are the inputs you give the model to predict the label. From the example given below, the trip underscore time underscore in underscore seconds is the only column that is not a feature. This is because you want to predict the fare of the trip before the trip is completed. At that moment, you don't know how long the trip would take. Thus, trip time is not a feature and you shall exclude this column from the model. Question 21. You need to predict the sea level in meters for the next 10 years. Which type of machine learning should you use? Our options are A. Classification, B. Regression, C. Clustering. The correct answer is B. Regression. In the most basic sense, regression refers to prediction of a numeric target. Linear regression attempts to establish a linear relationship between one or more independent variables and a numeric outcome or dependent variable. You use this module to define a linear regression method and then train a model using a labeled dataset. The trained model can then be used to make predictions. Question 22. Hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. A banking system that predicts whether a loan will be repaid is an example of the dash type of machine learning. Our options are classification, regression, clustering. The correct answer is classification. Classification as the prediction whether the loan will be repaid or not. Whether means class, categorical answer as yes or no, hence classification. Question 23. Which service should you use to extract text, key/value pairs, and table data automatically from scanned documents? Our options are A. Form recognizer, B. text analytics, C. language understanding, D. custom vision. The correct answer is A. form recognizer. Accelerate your business processes by automating information extraction. Form recognizer applies advanced machine learning to accurately extract text, key/value pairs, and tables from documents. With just a few samples, Form recognizer tailors its understanding to your documents, both on-premise and in the cloud, turn forms into usable data at a fraction of the time and cost, so you can focus more time acting on the information rather than compiling it. Question 24. Hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. The ability to extract subtotals and totals from a receipt is a capability of the dash service. Our options are custom vision, form recognizer, ink recognizer, text analytics. The correct answer is form recognizer. Accelerate your business processes by automating information extraction. Form recognizer applies advanced machine learning to accurately extract text, key-value pairs, and tables from documents. With just a few examples, Form recognizer tailors its understanding to your documents, both on-premise and in the cloud. Turn forms into usable data at a fraction of the time and cost, so you can focus more time acting on the information rather than compiling it. Question 25. You use Azure Machine Learning Designer to publish an inference pipeline. Which two parameters should you use to access the web service? Each correct answer presents part of the solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Our options are A. the model name, B. the training endpoint, C. the authentication key, and D. the REST endpoint. The correct answer is C and D, that is, the authentication key and the REST endpoint. You can consume a published pipeline in the published pipelines page. Select a published pipeline and find the REST endpoint of it. To consume the pipeline, you need the REST endpoint for your service, the primary key for your service. Question 26. Hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. From Azure Machine Learning Designer, to deploy a real-time inference pipeline as a service for others to consume, you must deploy the model to. Our options are a local web service, Azure Container Instances, Azure Kubernetes Services, Azure Machine Learning Compute. The correct answer is Azure Kubernetes Services. To perform real-time inferencing, you must deploy a pipeline as a real-time endpoint. Real-time endpoints must be deployed to an Azure Kubernetes service cluster. Question 27. Hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. Predicting how many hours of overtime a delivery person will work based on the number of orders received is an example of. Our options are classification, clustering, regression. The correct option is regression. Again, in the most basic sense, regression refers to prediction of a numeric target. Linear regression attempts to establish a linear relationship between one or more independent variables and a numeric outcome or dependent variable. You use this module to define a linear regression method and then train a model using labeled dataset. The trained model can then be used to make predictions. Question 28. A medical research project uses a large anonymized dataset of brain scan images that are categorized into predefined brain hemorrhage types. You need to use machine learning to support early detection of the different brain hemorrhage types in the images before the images are reviewed by a person. This is an example of which type of machine learning. Our options are A. Clustering, B. Regression, C. Classification. The correct answer is C. Classification. This is classification. There are multiple reasons for this. The training data is already tagged as with the correct type of hemorrhage. Classification can be done for more than two classes. You do clustering on group of inputs. For example, the scans of 10 people. You can't cluster a single input. Clearly, you got a new scan of a new patient and you want to know what that scan shows. You don't have a group scans to cluster. Clustering gives no labels. You just get groups and don't know what the label is. But in this question, it is very clear that they want to know the label that belongs to the new scan. Thus, it is classification. Question 29. When training a model, why should you randomly split the rows into separate subsets? Our options are A. To train the model twice to attain better accuracy. B. To train multiple models simultaneously to attain better performance. C. To test the model by using data that was not used to train the model. The correct option is C. To test the model by using data that was not used to train the model. First, we use the dataset for training and then for evaluation. He is referring to the famous train underscore test underscore split that everyone uses to split the dataset into train and test sets. You lose statistical power by estimating on a subset n, like 50% of original n. That's the price you pay for splitting data. For example, a normally independently distributed x has an estimator of arithmetic mean x whose variance inversely related to n. Bigger sample is a better for accuracy of a simple arithmetic mean. Question 30. You are evaluating whether to use a basic workspace or an enterprise workspace in Azure Machine Learning. What are two tasks that require an enterprise workspace? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Our options are A. Use a graphical user interface to run automated machine learning experiments. B. Create a compute instance to use as a workstation. C. Use a graphical user interface to define and run machine learning experiments from Azure Machine Learning Designer. D. Create a dataset from a comma-separated value CSV file. The correct answers are A and C. That is, use a graphical user interface to run automated machine learning experiments and to use a graphical user interface to define and run machine learning experiments from Azure Machine Learning Designer. Note, enterprise workspaces are no longer available as of September 2020. The basic workspace now has all the functionality of the enterprise workspace. Question 31. You need to predict the income range of a given customer by using the following dataset. Which two fields should you use as features? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Our options are A. Education level, B. Last name, C. Age, D. Income range, and E. First name. The correct options are A and C, that is education level and age. First name, last name, age, and education level are features. Income range is a label. First name and last name are irrelevant in that they have no bearing on income. Age and education level are the features you should use. Question 32. You are building a tool that will process images from retail stores and identify the products of competitors. The solution will use a custom model. Which Azure Cognitive Services service should you use? Our options are A. Custom Vision, B. Form Recognizer, C. Face, D. Computer Vision. The correct answer is A. Custom Vision. Azure Custom Vision is an image recognition service that lets you build, deploy, and improve your own image identifier models. An image identifier applies labels to images according to their detected visual characteristics, unlike the computer vision service. Custom vision allows you to specify your own labels and train custom models to detect them. Question 33. What are two metrics that you can use to evaluate a regression model? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Our options are A. Coefficient of determination R2, B. F1 score, C. Root mean squared error, D. Area under curve, and E. Balanced accuracy. The correct answer is A and C, that is coefficient of determination and root mean squared error. About A, R squared or coefficient of determination represents the predictive power of the model as a value between inf and 1.00. 1.00 means there is a perfect fit and the fit can be arbitrarily poor, so the scores can be negative. About C, RMS loss or root mean squared error, also called root mean squared deviation RMSD, measures the difference between values predicted by a model and the values observed from the environment that is being modeled. Small tip, if it is regression model, then remember R and the corresponding answer will be R2 and RMSC. Question 34. Which type of machine learning should you use to identify a group of people who have similar purchasing habits? Our options are A. Classification, B. Regression, C. Clustering. The correct answer is C. Clustering. Clustering is a machine learning task that is used to group instances of data into clusters that contain similar characteristics. Clustering can also be used to identify relationships in a dataset. Question 35. Hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. Dash models can be used to predict the sale price of auction item. Our options are classification, clustering, regression. The correct answer is regression. Regression is a machine learning task that is used to predict the value of the label from a set of related features. Question 36. Which metric can you use to evaluate a classification model? Our options are A. True positive rate, B. Mean absolute error, C. Coefficient of determination, D. Root mean squared error. The correct answer is A. True positive rate. What does a good model look like? An ROC curve that approaches the top left corner with 100% true positive rate and 0% false positive rate will be the best model. A random model would display as a flat line from the bottom left to the top right corner. Worse than random would dip below the y is equal to x line. Question 37. Which two components can you drag onto a canvas in Azure Machine Learning Designer? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Our options are A. Dataset, B. Compute, C. Pipeline, D. Module. The correct answers are A and D, that is dataset and module. You can drag and drop datasets and modules onto the canvas. Azure Machine Learning Designer lets you visually connect datasets and modules on an interactive canvas to create machine learning models. Question 38. You need to create a training dataset and validation dataset from an existing dataset. Which module in the Azure Machine Learning Designer should you use? Our options are A. Select columns in dataset, B. Add rows, C. Split data, D. Join data. The correct answer is C. Split data. A common way of evaluating a model is to divide the data into a training and test set by using split data and then validate the model on the training data. Use the split data module to divide a dataset into two distinct sets. The Studio currently supports training/validation data splits. Question 39. Drag drop. Match the types of machine learning to the appropriate scenarios. To answer, drag the appropriate machine learning type from the column on the left to its scenario on the right. Each machine learning type may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Select and place. Learning types: classification, clustering, and regression. To the answer area. Statement 1. Predict how many minutes late a flight will arrive based on the amount of snowfall at an airport. The correct answer here would be regression. To the next statements: segment customers into different groups to support a marketing department. The correct answer here would be clustering. To the last statement: predict whether a student will complete a university course. The correct answer here would be classification. In box 1, regression, again in the most basic sense, refer to prediction of a numeric target. Linear regression attempts to establish a linear relationship between one or more independent variables and a numeric outcome or dependent variable. You use this module to define a linear regression method and then train a model using a labeled dataset. The trained model can then be used to make predictions. In box 2, clustering in machine learning is a method of grouping data points into similar clusters. It is also called segmentation. Over the years, many clustering algorithms have been developed. Almost all clustering algorithms use the features of individual items to find similar items. For example, you might apply clustering to find similar people by demographics. You might use clustering with text analysis to group sentences with similar topics or sentiment. In box 3, two-class classification provides the answer to simple two-choice questions such as yes/no or true/false. Question 40. Hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Answer area. Dash is calculated probability of a correct image classification. Our options are accuracy, confidence, root mean square error, sentiment. The correct answer is confidence.